Fornhan.Ponsan, and roll now and become part of the story. The most important thing you will need to know about magical creatures is that some will despise humans with no compromises. While this can always be true for individuals, is this also an ideology of groups or entire races. This is also not an isolated thing, but widespread amongst magic societies. As already told, are magic animals not capable of this, and magical beings simply don't think in a way that would allow this train of thought. If you do not know how magic society stands towards humans, should you not trust the individuals of it. It is a sad thing that this is the first thing you will need to learn, but this is simply the massive difference you need to keep in mind from dealing with humans of other countries compared to a completely different race. Politics is all about finding solutions to problems, but not all problems have solutions you can or should attempt to seek out. As we are dealing with highly intelligent beings, do they, as much as we, not always say what they mean. Lies and trickery is common courtesy. You are lucky if a Magist just outright hates you, as in that case you at least know what they think of you. There exist groups of Magists out there whose sole purpose is to eradicate humans and remove the only group of intelligent life that isn't like the others. And they love to get close to humans so that those humans bring others to them to be erased in one fell swoop. There's also some ulterior motives that always go beyond simple survival instincts, and it is for you to figure out what that motive is. For that will you need to know how their beliefs can be altered. First things first are those that simply have little contact with humans. This applies most to ocean-dwelling Magists. As we humans are in fact not capable of breathing water, is the only contact they have with humans either some people on a cruise ship, fishers, or cargo personnel. Of these have fishers an absolute need to be in good terms with Magists, as they could quite easily prevent fishers from ever catching a fish. It would be far harder to interfere with cargo ships, as they are too massive to capsize easily, and all they use the water for is to move through it. But still would it be bad for them to have bad relations. So only the smallest group could show them a non-businesslike side of humans. This means either way will they most often harbor no strong feelings toward humans, most of the time if there wasn't some big event. Then there's the opposite, those who have so much contact with humans that they pretty much have no chance but to like us. They are so much in contact with humans that they really can only see us as the same as them. Of those are two groups then, of those who live integrated with humans and those that live next to us. Those like Cretaures live their lives as humans, doing human things, and the only reason why they wouldn't just grow up into the belief that they are just some weird form of other humans is because they need to be taught not to show their Magist traits to humans, to prevent problems coming their way. And if they are old enough to be trusted by their parents not to do so, will they even go in human schools and later work human jobs. Now the other group are those that aren't like Cretaures looking like a normal human, with the exception of some things that can be easily hidden. Werewolves are our closest equals to the point where they are drastically different to other Magists, even if they didn't grow up with humans, being almost human-like in how they think and act. All they lack was the intelligence of humans to get as far as we did. But then, is that maybe exactly what we are? Just werewolves that had put all the effort they put into magic into our intelligence instead. These types of Magists are also then called Mage's best friends. Unlike those that live as humans are these very well keen on showing that they are in fact Magists, which makes them human-friendly, and unlike human living ones have they absolutely no issue engaging with someone who sees them as Magists. After this have we those that are nothing like humans, but for one reason or another are attached to us. Gumo are quite fond of humans, despite them originally seeing us as nothing more than easy prey, due to their shape-shifting making it exceptionally easy to catch the libido-controlled man. But with times changing did they also change. as their previous way of living was simply unsustainable in the modern age, where it would be very well be noticed of people going to a brothel vanishing. Did they start to examine humans more closely, which luckily led to them being friendly with livers. They didn't change what they do, just how they do it. These days the Rogumu seek out a Saol instead of prey and live as a housewife until the day they decide they want to get eaten. Of course, do magies in cases like these get regulated, that these types of magical creatures don't just try to abuse the loophole, especially as these are also the types that will come into contact with regular humans not playing human themselves the most often. There are always those that couldn't care less for magic, but will care for the person they meet regardless of the behind the scenes. This is also the one group that expands into magical creatures, who would take on the roles of intelligent pets, but that is then more an individual thing over a race-spanning phenomenon. We of course also have various levels of disdain for humans. For one are those that see humans as pests, and rightfully so. We have taken up the entire planet and use it as a playground, ignoring the will of anyone else living on it. For them is the thought of collaborating with humans blasphemy, even if that hate is unreasonable, given their situation. Yuki Onna really wouldn't gain much from humans disappearing, as their existence is tied to the snow of the mountains they live in. They can't even get to the other places where they would be able to survive. That is just how confined they are as a holocron life form. But with recent climate change, maybe that hate is no longer so unreasonable after all. Then there are those in or that had been in conflict with humans. Where there isn't anything directly that would make merfolk hate humans, do they do it because of how we treated them in the past? We may try to get past these types of relationships, but that will take a lot of time to see through the entire race. But despite everything, does this mean that their hatred stems from a more metatextual level, so they don't have anything against humans personally and more against humanity? Still should you not treat them as buddies, as this hatred to the group can easily turn to hatred for the individual. After that exist those who have changed depending on upbringing. Some magical creatures live in two differing ways, one half being away from humans and one being with humans. Where they can always be a group that lives away from humans are those often then just human shy, to put it bluntly. While if it is something common with the race, they do that specifically because of their dislike towards humans. In that case, you simply need to gather where they come from, as this won't always be obvious if they are secluded. Finally are those that hate or like us by proxy. There's more to the world than just a relationship between humans and others, as much as we would like to pretend that that isn't the case. All magic societies have relationships with all others, of some sort from dislike over neutral to like. These relationships then are also extended to those they have one with. If one race hates another, they also hate those that are on good terms with them. As humans are the one race that meddles with every race, does every race need to have some opinion on us, and therefore has every race an opinion on the opinion of others have of us. That means if you know two races are bad blood, have you not the option to pick both sides. You either choose one or none, as there simply isn't a way of choosing both while the conflict is there. Finally are there those that see us in beneficial neutral. They only see us for what we do. We give our technology to them and they like that we do that. But that doesn't mandate them to become our best friends. They could pretty much swing either side on any day of the week.